Hello there. I figured that I did the original Halloween on Halloween. Why not Halloween 2? Again, I'm having now to do this in two parts or not, because again, this is like a big one. Funny thing is, it was like 3 years later, 1981, and slashers went in a big way. You know, you had The Burning, you had the second Friday the 13th, you had a lot of other slasher films and all. Like Final with Sam and other ones. But this one, without a doubt, isn't a bad one. I do know that John Carpenter decided to do it. Now originally there's a lot of different versions of Halloween 2 by Fawn, which originally come out in the days of Fawn videos. He did do two versions of it. He did one where the violence wasn't as graphic, wasn't as gruesome, because again he wanted to make it basically psychological. But at the time, you know, 1981 was a big hit for slasher films. I've already just said a few. You know, you had Friday the 13th Part 2, not sticking two fingers up. You had other ones. You had The Burning, which I reviewed. You remember reviewing that. You had Final with Sam. You had a lot. You had them all. You even had one of my other favourites. What was Type Bloody? That being, if I can remember it, My Bloody Father Time. How could I forget it? My Bloody Father Time. So in 81 was a big hit for slasher films. You know, it was a big hit for slasher films. So basically Halloween 2 decided, let's not beat them. So they made the movie a lot more bloodier, a lot more violent, and the violent death scenes a lot more graphic. It's funny because Halloween 2 was based in 1978. As we all know, the original come out in 78. John Carpenter made it big. So it basically was a foil one. You had Jamie Lee Curtis getting rushed to the hospital, and I like the way it's all shot at the same night from when the original come out. I do admit the Michael Mathis mask on the actor who's playing Michael does look a lot more cheaper, looks a lot more scarier. And just like the way he moves, yeah, he weren't big, he weren't a big Doc off die, but he didn't need to be. He walked slow, and the way he looks in his eyes, he just looks like he's in a trance. And you know, when he gets you, your fucking numbers up. I also like the music, done again, the same music, that but done on a keyboard. It gives it that cheapy feel. And it does have a lot of good gruesome deaths. You've got the needle in the eyeball, and you've got one scene where he burns a woman's face in boiling water. Now I do know that was cut down, heavily cut down, but on the golden days of foreign video you saw it, and it actually reminds me of another death scene. If you ever remember the movie shot in 75, Gold, if I can remember it, because I've got the fucking film, just bear with me. The movie, of course, I can forget it. The movie being called Deep Red, done by Vance Palmer. I think it was Vance Palmer, sorry. I can't pronounce his name, but he's done a lot of date films, you know, Stellar Bay, the original Suspiria, and one being Deep Red. Well, in the movie Deep Red, there's a scene where a woman gets brutally murdered, where she has a face in hot water, scrolls all the face. That is done in Halloween 2. And I've got to admit, out of all the Halloween films, this had to be the most violentest one of them all. It really is fucking violent, with the ultra violence put back in. There was a lot of deleted scenes, but funny enough, just like in the 78 one, they also did different version for the ABC with some of the violence trimmed down. It also in 81 again had Jamie Lee Curtis, and it had John Pleasance plays his role, and again he delivers some pretty damn good lines. Evil, poor evil. And I just love it. I just fucking love the lines they give him. You know, I do remember them very well. But John Pleasance plays again a fucking brilliant Dr. Loomis. For people that may not know this, originally Halloween 2 was going to be the last Halloween film. I'm not shitting you. Think about it. The scene where Michael Mathers is chasing Jamie Lee Curtis, you got that cheapy music done on keyboard now, just that nervy feel in parts, definitely nerves me out. He's chasing Jamie Lee fucking Curtis about, right? And John Pessance puts a lighter, blows him up. Why is it you never hear Dr. Humours? Why is it you never hear Michael Mathers? Simple. Because originally, they were both fucking dead. They were both fucking brown bread. Think about it. How the fuck, no matter how evil you are, there's no way you're going to survive burns like that. Apparently it was a stunt man with a special burn suit on. But in reality, that was for real. And if he didn't have his burn suit on, he would have been brown fucking bread. But, you know, money talks. But as we all know, when Halloween 3 come out, 1 year after this, it was a total different story. But I might review that, and that be a different story for another day. But Halloween 2, I think it's a good sequel. Now, yeah, over the years, and even back then, John Carpenter did not like the idea of Michael Mathers being Jamie Lee Curtis' fucking long lost fucking brother, you know, Lolly, that's in character's name. He didn't like the idea of him being a long lost fucking brother, you know, whether he had a wreck team and he's watching The Empire Strikes Back, you know, the line, "Luke, I'm your father." I don't know, maybe that maybe fucking inspired him to make the idea that Michael Mathers was her long lost fucking brother. But you know, it is what it fucking is, but it never bothered me. You know, I went with it and I just liked the story. You know, I like the fact it followed on from the original. Then there's a lot of classic horror movies, one I reviewed, that being Night of the Living Dead. And yep, Jamie Lee Curtis did actually wear a wig. So whether it's laughable now, but she did wear a wig. Because at that era, she did actually have her hair cut short. So it looked a bit funny, you know, and it was based on the same day. She's now got short hair. But it never bothered me. It never bothered me. You got the dive from the last Starfighter. Now originally I always thought he died. Because you just see him get falling on blood. Blood everywhere. And you think what a weird way he died. You know, he fell. But if you ever saw, there was an original ending where he's actually alive. He's alive. The old hands, Jamie Lee Curtis and her, she cries, the ambulance drives off, just like how it ends in Halloween 2, the ending, and it dived off. I just felt they should have had that ending in all fairness before it went ding, but I'll see who that is in a minute. They can wait. I know they erupted me last time, but they can wait. I'm sure if it's an emergency, I'll call them back. But again, Halloween 2, it's a damn good day for Halloween. Why not? It's a classic. You see it every Halloween, and it inspired a lot of sequels. And I think it's an underestimated sequel. I don't give a shit about them making these other sequels they made. To me, Halloween 2 had to be the finest out of the Halloween films. I fucking love it. It's a fucking classic. Fuck it. 2-star rating. Because I don't see any faults in Halloween 2. It's a classic. It's a bid it. Into them, have a good one. Happy Halloween.